I cared about more about Brian than I cared about anybody else.
I thought you wanted to go to the luncheon where he talks at it, because he's speaking at...
Oh, is he speaking at the luncheon?
Yeah, the Cricket Flyer.
Oh, well, yeah, I want to go to that. I said the last welcome.
Welcome.
All standby passengers, see me at the podium with your seat assignment.
Non-Rev Lounge is a travel and aviation podcast. Monique, Lara, and Tyler are three friends that work for a major airline as gate agent, flight attendant, and ramp worker. During this podcast, they will discuss using their flight benefits to travel the world, as well as talk about things that happen at work. They have guests on almost every week to share their travels and stories, leaving tips on the best places to travel or things to do. Enjoy.
On our lounge. I'm Tyler.
Is that good?
I'm Lara.
And I'm Monique.
And we are back in Lara's kitchen.
All of us together.
It's been a while since we've been in your kitchen.
Yeah, I like it, though.
Did you know that?
I love it here.
Me too.
Love it here. I'm talking to our audience.
Yeah, I think they love it. I did it. I was looking earlier.
No, it's good to be back. We've talked a little bit in over our recordings, but not in person. It's good to see you. How's March treating you?
Good. I'm loving the weather.
How about you? This comes out in March.
Work has been super busy and not great.
Because this is our peak. I tell people that and they're like, what? Because it seems like summer's peak travel. But in Phoenix, March is peak.
March is
End
peak.
of February to March, because we're into spring training. Are you going to games this year?
Well, we talked about it when Mom and Dad were going to come down, but I don't think they're coming down anymore. So I don't know if we'll get... It would be fun. They are fun. They're always fun to go to.
I have the same trip all stinking month. The same exact trip
You're
all
doing
month.
7 or is it more? 7
Seven
overnights?
of them. Dallas overnights.
Dallas overnights.
One leg over, spend the night, one leg home.
What's his name?
Well, Dave's coming with me.
On all of them?
No, on just the ones on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What time does it leave out at night?
It leaves next morning. It leaves in the morning both days.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah, so
it's
you have
like,
all day in Dallas, which is kind of fun.
because the Dallas flights get less full later in the evening.
Oh,
So
and we're doing the Dreamliner.
that's
it's
why
a
you're doing that
Dreamliner.
one. Okay.
Yes, you're flying for a couple hours. You get paid for a full day though, right?
Get paid for a full day and you're only flying
And then they put
2.5
you in
hours.
you said a decent hotel? In,
Really nice hotel downtown Fort Worth.
okay, we won't say where.
Does it have a lazy
show up.
river?
No, it doesn't have that.
Do you wear your cowboy boots?
I will be wearing my cowboys and my hat.
You have a cowboy hat?
I got it at H&M in London.
Cowboy.
What? And then I won London at the end of the month because it comes back to Phoenix.
Are you excited?
So excited.
Are you doing the deadhead there and work it back?
No, I'm not that senior.
Oh.
Senior, but
Does
not
it-
that senior.
Did you put in for it though?
No, I knew better.
You don't even try.
No, I can't even try.
What if
plus
you find
it's-
out someone hold it that was less than you? Would you be upset?
No, because it's Charlotte Aviation Day, and I'm going to go to the Charlotte Aviation Day.
Oh.
Did you know that that last Saturday in March is Charlotte's Aviation Day?
I think I got invited, but I'm going to be out of town.
And I said yes. I got invited. I said yes.
I was not invited.
Yeah, probably. You don't really like aviation though. You like to travel.
Yeah.
You hate pilots. You hate flight attendants. You hate gate agents.
She doesn't hate.
Just don't like.
Doesn't hate.
So I don't want to spend more time around them.
No, but Mo, you said work's been bad.
Yeah, well, they're trying to like save money, so they've been giving everyone voluntary time off. And so
I
we're
heard about that
just,
actually.
like almost a skeleton crew is what it feels like. We're a lot of like single agent flights, so it's only one agent working all these flights themselves, and it's just back to back to back to back to back. It's exhausting. It's not great.
Want to hear about my day?
Yeah.
So the other night I went in, I picked up a shift and it was a 4.5 hour shift and I was assigned one flight and that one flight had one bag that was going out the next day. And so I was thinking if our airline goes bankrupt, I might be partially at fault. Not because I chose that, because they're having me not do much.
And I probably worked 6 flights in that one.
Not all of my nights are that way, but there was a couple days that I was like, wow, this is actually I think both of our bids are ending soon, right? We both bid new bids in March.
Yeah.
We do new bid time change. Lara does it monthly, but we do it like average quarterly.
Yeah.
And my last bid has been amazing. I've had midday work where I don't do very much at all. I do all my editing for the podcast. I sit outside and it's been like 75 degrees to 80 degrees, just enjoying this. But I couldn't hold anymore because everyone above me is like, oh, that's still. So I have to go work at night.
Well, it's going to start getting hot though.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not quite through.
it's so easy that I'll take.
You'd still take it.
I'm pretty sure that if we took the amount of work of the three of us, the amount of work that we do per hour times how much we make, I would make way more than all of you. But it's just Lars is probably because you do like next one, not March. You'll be back to one trip a week, right?
Yeah.
London.
Gosh, I can't wait.
So,
And I'll be back to working 12 flights in a shift by myself. It's super exciting.
yeah, it's been sad knowing that I think you, Monique, you both of you love the summer though, right? You love the heat.
I do love the heat. I
And-
love the heat.
Yeah, it's almost pool season again.
And
so-
for me, I'm just like dreading it. Like, it's great that it's beautiful in February, March. And I've said to people before, if the temperature it was in February, March was this temperature year round in Phoenix, it would be one of the most expensive places in the country to live. If it was like this year round, because people know it's going to turn into hell in a few
It's
weeks.
kind of like LA is always nice.
Yeah.
I feel like we're starting to see the snowbirds already starting to leave.
Sorry to leave. Yeah.
Like it hit 90 and they were like, deuces, we're out.
Yeah.
Bye.
We have a lot of flights between, not our airline, but Canada. They all ramp up right now to bring people down out of the cold and also taking people back out of the
Like
end.
Madison had like 12 or 13 chairs the other night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're out of
Or
here.
go back. Yeah, it's been really nice. But for me, it's kind of a bittersweet because it's so nice, but it's also, summer's coming to kill us or for you to play in the pool.
Yeah.
But it's hot for you going out to the car. When you walk out to your car, it's hot. And when you
my
push
car,
the jet bridge, you complain about the heat.
yeah, I was saying my car, I just start it get it cooling off
okay.
before I get into it.
Smart.
So, anyways, enough rambling about that.
What about your story?
Oh,
Yeah, what happened last night?
oh my gosh. So we're starting to use this new system to board passengers onto planes. Some stations have already been using it. In Phoenix, we're still new, like we're barely even trained on it. It's the new one. So people probably heard about it in the media, but it's the one that will stop you from boarding if you're in the wrong group.
So like if I'm from group 7, I try to board during 5, it'll go beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, it says like wrong group. Do you still want to board them? So it's that and doing a whole new system. But the end of a flight, if people are booked on it but not there, there's a list of them. In our old system, it used to have a thing that just said unseat. So if you knew they weren't there, you could just easily take them off, like the manifest, like you're taking them off the flight, right? But in this new system, it has a button very similar that says drop all.
Oh.
Or at least it did yesterday. So it says drop all. And so the agents are thinking this is just going to unseat all these people on the list that aren't here. So they clicked it. So everyone's on board. Everything's done. They're ready to pretty much walk down, shut the plane door. They say drop all. And everyone is taken off this flight now. And not just like unselected that they're on the plane. They're all unchecked as well. So it's not even like someone could go down with a handheld and like rescan boarding passes. They had to go back on and try to check every single person back in.
Oh, man.
It would that's a complete nightmare because you really don't know. And when you check them in, it's not necessarily going to put them back in their same seat. It's just going to reassign like a random seat on the plane now.
It feels like when you push it, there should be a prompt. Do you really want to? And you're
Do you
like,
really want to seat any every
yes. And
single
there's like,
passenger?
but do you really, really want to?
Well, because there is, let's say a plane pushes and then comes back to the gate and we have to, and they're coming off.
Deboard everyone.
There is like a deplane and it does ask us twice in our old system. It says, are you sure you want to like do this? And you have to say yes. You actually type in yes. But that's not even like unchecking him. That's just saying they're coming off the plane.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine why they just had to like completely get rid of this flight almost like. So yeah, we had managers over there, supervisors over there, all trying to figure out this like.
So did you deboard and start
massive
over?
cluster.
Or how did you do it?
Oh, I was next door. I didn't
Oh.
actually. I was doing my own single agent drowning
Good.
kind of thing, but I could just see like more higher ups kind of like coming over, and I was like, oh,
I would just
not-
go on board with a handheld and start checking people in again.
I don't know if you can actually check them in on the handheld. You can scan them on saying they're on board, but they have to be
Oh.
checked in to be able to even do that. So that's the thing is they had to go back in.
What a dilemma.
Yeah. So that's where we're like, we think the manifest is right.
Yeah.
Not international.
No, thank goodness. I think it was going to Vegas or something. I'm not sure exactly where.
But yeah, if there was a, like you said in the past, they were going to fly back and you didn't have someone on, and all of a sudden they lost it. Yeah.
Oh
so-
yeah.
Now they lost their return. If they don't figure it out, they've lost the return too, because it'll show them not checked in for the outbound.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a major cluster like that.
Yeah.
Awful. But I guess within like an hour or two of that happening, the button was taken away. They'd already called like headquarters and been like, this needs to be removed.
No need for that.
Yeah. And so later I was playing around and I was like, where's the button? And the supervisor was like, they already got rid of it. And I was like, oh, good. That's probably smart.
That is a story.
Have you flown anywhere?
I don't think I have. I think I got Tony up to Colorado like I said, but I haven't.
I said my goals for this year was to not fly as much, to fly big. And so I followed it and it's been painful.
These just aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, every day I go through these emotions of like, I'll see if I'm going to Mexico and I was like, I wish I was going to Mexico. Or I'll see the Hawaii flights and I'm like, oh. But yeah, I haven't taken any flights. So it's been, I got some coming up.
You do have some big fun ones coming up. Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm doing what I said, but at the same time, it's been rough. And so what about you? You went your birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I went to Richmond. And that was a big story too, because I landed from working a flight to Newark, from Newark. And when I landed, I called my husband on my way home. He goes, oh yeah, they're canceling all the flights from Charlotte to Richmond. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah. He goes, you might have to wait a day to go. I'm like, oh, I'm not waiting a day. So I went home and looked and I said, I have 2 hours to make that flight, the all-nighter. So I ran home, grabbed my bags, changed my clothes, brushed my teeth, went back to the airport and jumped on the all-nighter to Charlotte. And then they had 2 flights in the morning to Richmond. That was it. The rest of the day was canceled. Preemptively canceled because of the snowstorm. And I beat the storm right as I landed, all the snow. In fact, they'd closed the freeway, so the Uber driver had to drive me through the back streets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Took a little bit longer, but it was kind of fun to see Richmond.
Yeah, you wrote us and you're like, I've never seen snow before.
Not like that.
Oh, really?
It was a big snowstorm. And then we walked in it to dinner.
They don't get snow in Wickenburg.
They don't. And the governor of Virginia issued a stay at home.
Oh, wow.
Of course, that doesn't apply to my daughter, but
I do like when we preemptive we just make a decision and go with it.
Instead of this rolling delay, waiting to
see if it clears up. Just if you know it's going to be bad, I'd rather just
be
done. And then the people can make plans and actually rearrange it instead of the wait game.
Yeah, so it was kind of fun changing my plans at the last minute.
But you got to go spend your birthday.
I did get to go, and then coming home, it was beautiful. So it was no problem. Oh, one thing I did want to tell you about was coming home. I flew that short flight from Richmond to Charlotte, and then again, of course, from Charlotte to Phoenix. But from Richmond to Charlotte, I checked in. There was like 52 open seats, and they gave me 8F, which is the first row of main cabin in the window. And I'm sitting there, and when I got on, I had a container of donuts for the flight attendants, and I wrote, "Thanks for coming to work today, Phoenix crew member Lara." And then I sat down, and then I was on board a long time because we waited for these 6 women that were traveling together on a girls' trip, and they all had matching shirts. I love that. And security was backed up. So we took a delay waiting for them. Not a big delay, but a little delay waiting for them.
Which is crazy that the
first flight in the morning.
They even waited, yeah.
And so they got on and we took off. And when we landed in Charlotte, I turned on my phone and it said, "Congratulations, you got upgraded to first class." I'm like, nobody came and got me. They let me sit there in 8F.
That would have been nice to know. It would have been nice
because the only service they did was in first class. They didn't do any service in the main cabin.
Oh, the short flight.
It was short. It was 48 minutes.
But still, coffee or something would be nice. Or
usually, to be fair, that's a flight where you do service. But they said it was because of the storm, that they weren't the weather. I'm like, okay. But nobody came and got me and moved me up into first class. So the only way I found out about it is I got a boarding pass for it when we landed.
Is that the gate agent's job to come and tell them? Or are we supposed to just follow our phone, our emails? Or what's the...
Normally, we come on board. Yeah. If we're doing last minute upgrades, we come on board. The elite members, they're actually usually pretty quick. Like if we do it upstairs, they get on their phone and they're already starting to move, which is nice. But non-revs probably aren't that quick to get the emails and things like that.
Yeah.
But you kind of usually at that point, you're like, I'm not getting it. So I'm not even looking. I'm getting settled.
And to be fair though, the first flight attendant knew that because you look at your tablet when you're doing service. So it's like, she knew I was supposed to be up there. And
she could easily,
I hope she enjoyed that donut because now nobody's getting donuts until after I get service.
That's fair.
Yeah. Oh, and then I've got my Jet Set Shirts t-shirt, my 747 Queen t-shirt on today. Just want to rep that.
Very cool. I think you have worn that before.
I think I have worn it before, haven't I? I don't want to repeat my shirts.
Well, we're going to have to.
Didn't you leave a magnet in the Miami crew room?
Yes, I did. I left one of our non-rev lounge magnets in
And
the
there was something else to that story.
Miami
that
crew
was
room on their refrigerator. No, it was DCA. I did it one in Miami and one in DC
Okay.
in their crew room.
Because you've been doing a lot of Miamis.
Not anymore.
Do you do them because you just want to do just vests? Is that why?
Yeah,
No
and
shirt
it was a
underneath?
long layover, and I kind of wanted to do a long.
She's been
layover.
working on her arms. I want to show them off.
Because the hotel in Miami was nice, right?
It's really nice. It's on the water, and it's 5 stars.
Is it
It's-
worth because you're balancing out bad customers, but good hotel?
This trip, it was worth it, but not every trip is worth it.
I mean, you could just put your earbuds in when you do service. You don't have to listen to them anyway.
Like our new hires.
Because you get
Yeah.
paid extra because you're bilingual?
No.
Okay. So if someone speaks to you in your second language, do you not respond?
No, I answer.
Okay.
I'm nice. I like to practice my Spanish. Practica.
So we talked about the plane crash in DC, and then soon after there was the plane crash in Toronto, the Delta one. And you saw everyone climbing out, and I thought, you guys do a lot of your training. Did they ever flip the thing upside down? I mean, that would be something you're not even trained, but they did a really good job, right?
They did a phenomenal job.
Without ever being trained on how to exit out
Upside down.
upside down airplane.
Then she was standing on the roof. And now my first thought was that she knew enough to disarm the slides. Because if you're upside down and you hit that slide's going to fall down and block the exit.
Oh.
So I thought, oh, she was really smart. But then I found out later, because I kept telling everybody that those airplanes don't have slides.
Oh, this
Because they're so low to the
Oh, okay.
ground. They don't need
Especially
slides.
They could just almost hop out.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And so she, and then she gave a little helpful hand to everybody as they were getting out. And you know what? To be fair, that's a very small window that they were all jumping out of. And there wasn't really room for their luggage.
Well, I thought I heard someone
A
say.
couple people did bring their garment bags and stuff.
But I thought someone said I thought I heard they went to one exit that wasn't even open or working. So did they all have to go out?
I thought they had 2 exits going.
Oh, did they have
I
to?
don't know.
Okay.
I think they had to. But I heard her say drop it to a couple times to people, because they had their stuff with them. She'd drop it. And then she'd give them a little helpful push on the fanny. And then later on, a bunch of people were all upset because she touched them on the fanny. Not those people, but other people that were watching the video got mad that she touched them on the fanny and gave them a little helpful push. But we're supposed to, back in the old days, we were supposed to give a little helpful hand on the back, because they get to that door and then they freeze because it's a big jump on a slide and they freeze. And so you're supposed to give them a little helpful push.
Is that how you taught your kids how to swim too? Just a little push.
Right.
So you still saw people, everyone here over and over, every time there's an accident,
Every time.
don't carry stuff off, right? And you still saw them. So we thought we should point out people of our listeners that we think would carry stuff off.
Name names.
First off, I think, and not a listener, but my kids would carry their tablets off. Those things are gold to them.
Oh, the tablet. Yes.
They would carry those out for sure. But who do we think would carry a backpack or a carry-on off? Who wants to go first?
Well, my first thought was Brittany,
Okay.
but the opposite way. I could see her like losing it on people who are
yeah.
not,
Oh, yeah.
like they're grabbing their backpacks or things like that. And she's like, I could see her just going into full like mode of,
Yeah.
Training mode.
yeah.
Yeah. Most of the people I had at first were flight attendants that I thought would be carrying stuff. And then I was like, because of the training. Who do you got, Lara?
I kind of want to say the Instagram handle Stand By With Me
Okay.
because he promotes, and I'm going to tell you why, because he promotes different bags, which I appreciate because I want that one backpack he has that carries so much. So he's always talking about different bags. So I feel like he's very invested in bags and he's not going to leave his bag behind. He's going to probably pop that on his back and I won't even know the difference if I was staying at the door. And when I give him a little push, I'd be pushing his backpack.
All right. So you think,
I do think Stand By With Me would take his bag. Sorry. Don't get mad.
No, like I didn't try to think.
it doesn't have to be real.
It may be my friend Valerie.
Valerie at the gates?
Yeah.
Oh, I know
Especially if she has like a dance bag that she doesn't want to
Or
get.
yeah, like something.
She's a dance mom.
I could see her grabbing her stuff.
These
Yeah.
costumes are expensive.
Or even just if she's got a nice purse and she's like, I ain't leaving this on here. Or you could be like, this actually was a real Louis, so I need this replacement.
So mine would be, just because this person has a lot of secrets we're finding out, is Dane.
You can't.
Because did you know that he worked with the Kardashians for years?
That's right. That is a big secret. Why didn't he tell us?
How can we know him for a year and he didn't tell us that? So,
And he was on our podcast and didn't say anything.
He didn't say anything. So I feel like he's a little sketchy. That's all. So
he listens the first day, so we'll find out.
Dayton may be carrying his backpack off. Sorry, Dayton. He probably would agree. Or this is his last episode. No, Dayton's great. Hey, don't carry your stuff off. My number would be my kids.
You could take your phone though, right?
Yeah. You wouldn't even know it's in your hand.
What would you do if you were the flight attendant and someone had a bag? Because now if they dropped a bag, they're blocking the exit too.
That's true.
So you're like, leave your stuff and get up. But now if they get that far, what are you doing? Do they tell you what to do at training?
No, they don't tell you what to do.
Okay.
We're getting ready for me next month. April is my recurrent training.
Oh, you're saying you're taking someone's ashes in April.
No, I'm going to ask. Yeah.
They're saying going through security, and I was right behind someone, and it sent it off because they were ashes.
It sets it off?
It doesn't look right in the X-ray.
It looks like a liquid or
it looks, yeah. And so, but the person just had it in a Walmart bag.
Oh, like in a box or just like
I think,
loose?
well, no. I think it was in something, but then just in a Walmart grocery bag.
Okay.
And they were like, "Oh, I have paperwork for that." And I was like, "Yeah, Walmart bag though."
Oh.
Is that too judgy?
Would you
It's
check
judgy.
it?
No, I wouldn't check it, but I would
reason.
probably put it in a nicer bag than just a grocery bag.
Yeah.
I mean, if this spouse or grandmother's mom, I would
Someone-
I'd put it in something a little bit nice.
When I was non-revving, because I had a Hawaii overnight. And then after my Hawaii overnight, then I went to Newark, and then I ran to Richmond. And when I got to KCM, they said KCM was down. So I had to walk through. I went through. So I went over to pre-check, and the girl goes, "Oh, you can't pre-check because you're not in uniform." I'm like, "I have pre-check." And I pulled out my boarding pass. I said, "Well, I have pre-check." She goes, "Nope, you can't be in pre-check. You have to go to general boarding." This is an argument that you are not going to win. You are never going to win an argument with TSA. Don't bother. You're not going to win. So I go to the general boarding, wait in line, blah, blah, blah.
Did they say, "Why are you here?"
Yes. And then I get up there and they go, "Why are you here?" And I said, "Well, because she told me I couldn't do it." They're like, and then when I went through, my bag got tagged. So they pulled my bag over and the lady's looking through it. She goes, and she's the one telling me, "Why are you even here?" And I'm trying to explain it to her. And she says, "Do you have jelly or jam in your bag?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, from my Hawaii overnight, I had some guava jam and I shoved it in my shoe so it wouldn't explode. And it's still there. So it went with me all the way to Newark, all the way back to Phoenix. Now it's going to Richmond, which now it's sitting in my daughter's kitchen. But I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." I said, "You guys can have it. You guys take it." She goes, "No, you shouldn't even be here. Just take it and go." I've never heard them say, "Just take it and go."
There's like two drastics. One person's like making up rules and the other one's like not following rules.
Yeah, she didn't even see
were
it.
you like, "Do you want my jam?"
Did you call it toe jam because it was in the shoes?
Oh, that's so gross. Yeah. Now Erin's eating it.
Yeah, I did have to laugh. I'm like, "Oh my God, I know what that is."
Can I tell you how excited I was when I found out KCM was going away?
Yes.
Why?
I know
Now they're
he
going to be in our
was
lane.
lording it over me.
Oh, just because she doesn't have that?
Yeah, well, I honestly I was hoping that because it's going away, but it's not. They're just changing it.
Okay.
Well, they would actually make an employee line for all of us to get through.
Oh, well then heck yeah, I would want that.
Yeah, so I was, the fact that they're kind of cranky and anyways, but yeah, so I looked it up and I realized that what they're going to do is you still have to go and get your picture taken. So right now you just show them a passport, basically they look, right?
I have a barcode. They just scan the barcode.
Okay. But now you're kind of like going international flight. I think they'll like scan your
Scan your face.
That's kind of what I read. It was kind of vague, the information. So
He was so
they'll
excited.
still have their separate boarding and it'll be like a slow changeover. It's when I first heard, I was like, "Oh, good." Now they're going to be like us.
I know.
I don't like when they go through TSA with us.
But if we could be like them, like if they made it even,
Yeah, that would be nice.
because that's one thing I was going to ask is who was the one that ruined it? I don't know. It was any like one thing. They're just kind of like making it a little more secure.
There were a whole bunch of things. Flight attendants were getting caught with guns and stuff like that. Yeah.
Drugs. Remember the lady in, was
there
it San Diego?
But wasn't
She
she?
kicked out her shoes and started running because she was,
Yeah,
Oh,
but she was
yeah.
going through like regular because it was like going through the X-ray.
I don't know.
Oh, I thought. Yeah.
But maybe she got
She started
random.
running.
Yeah.
Like, "You're going to get
Oh,
away."
yeah, she slipped over drugstore and ran. like you're going to get away. I would definitely not get away. 10 steps. And, let me,
That was a good run.
like, just stop. Okay.
Yeah, so apparently it's not as big a deal as I was hoping.
Sorry.
No, I was just hoping it would be better for us. Like it would be more even.
Well, the first time we went to Dorkfest, I went with Mo and Brittany, and we all got to the airport. I think you and I drove together. We all drove together, and we got to the airport, and then I said, bye, because I went through KCM.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing. Like, half my family has just pre-check, half don't. And, oh, yeah, we split. We're
Bye.
And they just wait. Yeah. See you on the other side.
It's funny when people have clear and they go through the clear line and then we go through the pre-check line and you get through before them. And you're like,
Yeah, but sometimes the TSA pre-check line is really long in the mornings. It can get really long. So that's I'm like, oh, clear.
should you tell them, Lara, about this game you and I played? So Monique was working a flight. She was, what's it called? Deboarding?
Unmanned plane, yeah. And they were
Deplaning.
Deplaning. And so I was up talking to her and I said to her, I said, don't tell me where this flight's from. Because I
Don't tell me
want
what?
where the flight's from. So I'm standing there at the podium because you're behind the podium and I'm staring at every passenger that gets out the plane. I'm watching each of them like look up and down, getting as many data facts as I can.
Try to figure out
Do
where
they have Boston hats on? Yeah. Are they from Boston? Where's this plane from? I said, don't tell me. And I'm trying to think of that time of day where the planes come from.
Is it snow gear? Are they wearing snow gear?
Exactly. Yeah. Were they dressed warm? Were they dressed like, how were they dressed? And so I was going through everything and I narrowed it down to, it was hard because there wasn't a lot of sports apparel. Because usually you'd be like, oh, we said the Yankees stuff was hard because people wear Yankee stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
But there wasn't like cowboy stuff. So probably not from Dallas but I saw a couple people that were pretty decked out in Mickey Mouse stuff.
Oh.
So my choice was Orlando. And Monique said I was close, so I said Tampa. But that was the one she meant. And it was from Orange County.
Oh.
That was funny though was like there weren't that many families actually with
Not a bunch of
Disney
little kids.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of them had a Disney World bag, and I was like, "Oh, no,
It's gonna.
it was like it's close, but it's 0%." Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes when I have nothing to do, I like to go up and say, didn't we used to play that with Portland? Because you can tell people that go to Portland, they kind of have a look to them.
Grunge.
And well, when I was with Prospect Adventures, we used to always count how many gold chains were going to Las Vegas.
Oh.
The men with the gold chains and the open was like, you find at least 3 to 4.
Oh.
Going Vegas.
Yeah, going to
I'm
Vegas.
sexy,
And no
and I
bras.
know it.
The girls never wore bras to Vegas either. Yeah, it's a fun game. JFK was always more suits.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but if you get usually Boston people have a lot of pride in their sports teams. So I feel like you get a lot of that stuff, cross them off.
Miami has a lot of couples that match.
Oh, matchy match.
Why? The honeymoon?
I think it's kind of a Latino thing maybe.
Oh, okay.
They wear the kind of like the velvety tracksuit that match.
That's true.
I think you would be able to tell just because there's more South American people, Caribbean looking people and people going to those. So a lot more Spanish speakers on the Miami flights.
And then Miami people also are known for having their music just out loud.
Oh, yeah.
In the boarding area or like talking on FaceTime out loud in the boarding area. It's a very Miami thing.
That's really true.
Utah's just a lot of kids.
Did you guys see the video? I think, speaking of Connor, he put it on his Instagram. It went around. It was about February it was like National User Flight Benefits Month. Did you see that?
Oh, I did see that. Uh-huh.
And it was kind of like talking about people. There's so many people that have flight benefits that don't use them. So go out and use them. And I think I wrote him and I said, we really want more people trying to non-rev? And then I was sitting at work because I didn't have time at work. And I started thinking, because our airline does time of check-in, but if we were by seniority, I think that all my times I talk to coworkers, I would be talking, if they had more seniority than me, I would just be telling them how awful it is to non-rev. If I was working with Lara has more seniority than me, I would just be like, have you tried non-revving? It's terrible. I can never get on flights. I would just be like, just stay home. Like, it's not worth it, wouldn't you?
Just to talk them out of it.
Yeah. Just
try to save yourself.
They'd be like, this one guy was saying this. He can't get on anything. I'd be like, yeah, it's awful.
That's funny.
Because, it doesn't matter when they check in. If they show up, they're going to beat you. So,
I know.
Just
I
show
wish
up.
we went by seniority. Of course, I do.
I think your seniority is so high that it would mess up the system, though.
You can glitch.
Having that third digit of, yeah.
That's funny.
Are you still going to go to Paris?
I'm still doing the butter run.
Can I talk about Paris?
Yes.
Is it get the most mixed reviews of a city,
I
of
think
any
so.
city?
I have to agree with that.
People either love it or they hate it.
Isn't that true,
It,
though?
it really is. Yeah.
Isn't it? Because so we were having a family dinner a couple of Sundays ago with someone from our church, and they just did a big trip. They didn't tell their kids where they're not non-refs, but they didn't tell their kids. And then over Christmas for like 2 weeks, they all of a sudden just took them to London and then down to Paris, and they did not like Paris. And I feel like you hear that a lot, and then you also hear people that love it, right? Because you were in Paris last year
I was.
for a day,
Yeah.
a short time, and you did the Christmas one, and you both had enjoyed
we
it.
loved it.
But don't you often hear people that just hate Paris?
They do. They talk about how gross it is, how mean everyone
How
is.
mean
and we didn't have any of that.
Yeah, it's so weird.
But I don't know if we were like an off time, like it was Christmas Day and like day after, but no, we liked it.
And I feel like I may have been on an off time because it was the couple weeks before the Olympics.
Olympics,
So everybody was friendly and nice and welcoming.
like the fake, they're just not real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like, yes, there were some people that were short, but you get that in New York. Any big city, you get people that were just like, get out of my way. Like, I have things to get to. But it wasn't like when we had our trip there, everyone seemed pleasant. It was hard to find a bathroom, but that wasn't people.
That's exactly what I was going to say. But I feel like it's the same thing over in like
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
In London or in Ireland as well. Like, I feel like just Europe is bad for public bath.
Remember Katie and I trying to find a bathroom in Frankfurt? We both had to pee. We couldn't find a bathroom. Remember that?
And we were in Venice, like we had to find somewhere, and then we had to find coins to get in to pee.
Yeah, you have to have a euro.
Yeah, so it was so like not everyone, but it just is in general. As I was thinking in Paris, it's so interesting how people either love it or hate it.
Yeah, no, that is true.
And I couldn't think of another city that had such mixed reviews. Can you?
No.
Yeah, there's people that hate something, but not so drastic of each end. So,
Agree.
Are you still going?
I'm still going.
Do you want to go, or is it just kind of like you're 380? Would it be
No,
fun?
I really want to go.
Okay.
I really want to go. And I wanted to go in the beginning of May, but I got a bunch of stuff going on. So I may go at the end of May. I want to go before it's summer.
You're going to non-rev?
I'm in non-rev.
On a 380, or you're just going to go?
No, I'm going to non-rev over to London, and then I'm taking that train.
Oh.
Yes. I'm taking the train. Remember our guest talked about it.
Yeah, that's what that family we talked to, that's what they did too. And it's cheaper to Zed fare. So we've always, because I'm super cheap, use Zed on Air France or British Airways. But I want to do that. You have to tell us, I want to hear about what it's like, because
The Eurostar.
when you take a train, when you go into Manhattan, you take a train out of the water.
Channel?
No, not the tunnel, in Manhattan in New York.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't really notice because you're just in a.
You don't know.
Yeah.
So is it going to be the same thing? Yeah, for 30 minutes it's dark, but it's cool to say you did it. But is there?
I don't know. DJ did it.
Did you
DJ
say- yeah.
Spotter and I think his wife did it. They did it together. So he told me it was pretty cool. I'm like, oh, okay, I want to do it.
He just used his. Remember last year he got his free tickets on Alaska,
Yeah.
his first class tickets, because he won them, and all of a sudden they flew to Seattle from Raleigh, and then the next morning, and I was like, is he not earning? Like he's taking weird and short.
Weird route
Yeah, and he goes, oh no, we're using our first class, so they use it to go to Vegas.
for their anniversary.
Oh,
This is their anniversary.
I wouldn't have chose Vegas, but they got first class to Vegas and probably back, so that's fun for them.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I did Vegas for my first year anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, first class?
I think this is their second anniversary.
Oh, for them. All right. You guys have anything else?
Wait, I did have something.
Oh,
Go ahead.
did I tell you I almost got 3 paid days off?
Did you have to take a P test?
Because you
did.
were suspended?
I did not have to take a P test because I was so close. So I was the one that closed up to flight and then pulls the jet bridge back.
Okay.
I went and I looked at my whole area. It was clear. And then so I started pulling my jet bridge back, and all of a sudden I hear some yelling, and I was like, ramps always kind of like being loud down there. So I didn't think anything of it. So all of a sudden I see one rapper like giving me like this, yelling
stop.
at me. And I was like, what the heck? Like I was like, I checked my area. Like, what is going on down there? So I go back out, and now there's a maintenance truck in my area, and I'm literally like a foot from
Inside the lines where it says don't park?
Yeah, inside the red lines.
Yeah.
With the big slashes. That
So you knew
Yeah.
that this means stop.
I didn't know. And so I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, that wasn't, I swear that wasn't in there. But I was like, if I would have hit him, there would have been an investigation. I probably would have got 3 days off.
You would have had a pee-pee test.
I would have got paid depending on if I passed or not. But so later on, I went to my manager and I was like, can I watch the video? I was like, I genuinely don't think I missed that. I think we watched for 2 different gates, could ever see
when he
pulled in. And I was like, crap, this looks like I'm guilty. But I was like, I don't think I am.
I don't think you were guilty.
So we watched from another gate across the way, and you can see I go out, my lights are on, so you know it's like
it's moving.
Yeah. I go out, look at my area, it's clear, go back in, and then within 15 seconds, he goes and parks in there. So I was like, bro, are you kidding me? But yes, I was that far from smashing into it.
It sounds good to have 3 days off paid, but you can't travel anywhere. So
And
you would have been cleared because I'd have been like, yeah, you cleared. And so sorry or glad? What?
It was nice to know that
it wasn't on you.
It wasn't my fault, but I was still annoyed that I came that close to.
Or were you annoyed that the ramper stopped you?
No, that would have been a massive hit.
What does that mean? Yeah.
I'm glad they stopped you.
Yeah, but shouldn't have parked in this stupid.
When
I don't think he hustled to move his truck either. He just looked,
well, the lights were on. Okay, so when I had that long Dallas layover that I wasn't supposed to have, remember I went from, I don't know where, Salt Lake. I was going from Salt Lake to Dallas, Dallas to Cancun, spend the night, Cancun to Dallas, Dallas, Phoenix, go home. We woke up in the morning in Salt Lake, and I was fine with the all-male crew. And the number one, so one guy and I were downstairs. We met for breakfast. We were having our free breakfast. And one guy who lives there, a flight attendant that lives there, Jay, he texted me and said, did you see that they changed our time for departure by 2 hours? I'm like, what? So we look it up, and sure enough, we've been pushed back 2 hours. Like, well, what's going on? And just then the number one comes down, and he's like this. He's like, my wife went into labor 6 weeks early. He goes, I got to get out of here. He goes, she's in labor right now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, 6 weeks early. So he didn't plan that. So we were waiting for them to bring in another flight attendant. So anyways, we wait 2 hours. We get to the airport, and now it's just me and the other two guys, and one guy that lives there, and then that really funny guy. So we get to the airport, and he throws in Salt Lake, and he throws his bag down on the floor, and he jumps on top of it, and I'm looking at him. He drives off. And I'm like, oh, that is cool. So I took a little ride too myself. I said, let me try. So I got on it, and it was fun. We're in flight, and he gets a notification. I don't have service. He gets a notification that we're not going to Cancun. We're like, we're not going to Cancun. And this guy with the suitcase, he has a girlfriend in Cancun, so he was super upset. He bid the whole thing just to see her, and I'm like, well, that's why we're not going. Mm-hmm. So they had sent a Dallas crew to do the Cancun and back. Mm-hmm. So then they said, you're just gonna have a long Dallas, and then you're gonna go home the next day. You'll just work at home. You're gonna pick up your trip. So we go to this really nice hotel in downtown Fort Worth, and the three of us, again, it's just me and the two guys. We go out to happy hour. We're having a good time. We leave. We come back, and then the one guy says, "Hey, I'll buy you an old fashioned at this really neat steakhouse." I'm like, "Oh, I'm in there. Count me in." So we're in there drinking that. We go back, and I say goodnight because I want to go down to this bar. They have this bar that's with all glass, and it looks out all over Dallas and Fort Worth. It's just a gorgeous. I'm like, I just want to sit down there and have a glass of wine and watch. And so I get my glass of wine, and I'm down there, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm like, okay, it's time to go to bed. So I go back up to my hotel room. Now we had ran in during 3:00 in the afternoon. It was light. I get back to my room, and I turn on the main switch, but I can't figure out how to turn the two switches on by the beds. And there's a platform, and then the two night lights that go to the beds are on this platform. And so I'm like touching the lights. I'm touching the top lights. I cannot find it anywhere. And I'm touching bottom. I can't find light switch. So then I'm going over on the wall, because you know how sometimes they're on the wall. So I'm looking at the wall. Now, I stay on for a hotel one. I tried that. I tried everything. Finally, I picked up the phone, and I called downstairs. I said, hey, I can't find that switch for the bedroom lights, the bed lights. And the guy goes, I'll send someone up. I go, no. Just tell me. Use words. And just tell me where it is. I can find it. And they go, no. And so 2 seconds later, I hear this. And I open the door, and this cute young man was sitting there. He goes, hi, I'm here to show you the lights. And I'm sitting there holding my glass of wine. I'm like, I can't find that light switch. It's so okay. Like, So he comes over the platform and there's a little teeny tiny switch on the sides of the platform, one on each side. And he goes, here it is. I go, so embarrassed. I go, I'm really embarrassed. I'm so sorry. So I tip him $2 and some cookies, Biscoff cookies. And he leaves. The next morning, I'm meeting everyone downstairs for breakfast. I come walking downstairs and we're standing there and there's no one else in the restaurant but us. And so I'm standing there talking to the two guys and one of them's eating, the other one's not. I'm like, I'm going to grab something to eat. And the other guy goes, it's $18. You don't want it. And this guy, the guy that's eating, the guy with the suitcase, he goes, I'm not paying for it because I'm just going to eat. And I'm like, because I'm a do-gooder. So I'm like, oh, I'm not going to eat. And he goes, no, you can eat. And then this guy walked around the corner. He goes, oh, hey, hi to me. And I look over. God, it's the guy that was from my room. Who's in my room? I go, did you spend the night here? I mean, why are you still here? And he goes, yeah, I work the night shift. I'm getting ready to get off. He goes, did you get everything okay in your room? Is everything all set? Did you get it all figured out? I go, yeah. And the two guys are like, what happened? What happened? And I'm like,
oh, he helped me find the spot.
He goes, oh, she couldn't find the light switch. He goes, she was standing there holding, I go, I was standing there holding a glass of wine. She's holding a glass, and she can't find the light switch. And those two guys didn't let me live that down. The rest of the day, it was like, and then the chef came in and he starts laughing. He's like, oh, and he goes, that's so funny. He goes, you want something? You want something to eat? No, I'll plate up something. So he plated us, which was very nice. So we got the $18 breakfast for free. Only because I knew the guy.
And you tipped him.
$2 and a Biscoff cookie.
But he was there for hours, right?
No, he was there for 5 minutes at the most. I was so embarrassed I had to call.
So, but that's the same hotel you're staying at.
That's the whole same hotel I'm staying at next month.
That's the guy.
I'm like, that's so funny. But when we got on the airplane, they go, hey, Lara, come up front. We have something to show you. And I came up front. I'm like, what do you want to show me? They go, here's the button for the light switch on the airplane. All day long, they were doing it. Lara, we want to show you something up here. Oh, they wouldn't let me live it down. It was fun.
I've seen that guy on his little scooter a couple of times recently.
Oh, he's so funny.
Flying through the train area. So
on that.
But that's all he takes, right?
Yeah. It doesn't hold very much.
One that I'm like, bro, where's the rest of your stuff?
It's all, he doesn't have a shoulder bag or anything. It's all in there. And it doesn't hold very much. He said he had flip-flops, a swimsuit, and one outfit.
Well, he was going to shoot his girlfriend.
He's his girlfriend.
There was a flight attendant real quick the other day who had a full-on hiking backpack as the
I'm so sorry. Luggage. I'm so sorry.
It just looked so off. Like, I was like, I don't know if it's actually part of your uniform or like how that is, but it just looked off that that's what he had for his luggage instead of rollers.
The roller one. Well, I think next month when I do the Dallas one, I'm going to sneak my face bag on as my luggage.
You're going to take it to the gate?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to take it as my crew luggage. I'm going to try it once.
It's too big?
Yeah. No, I have 2 of those.
Oh, you have a smaller one?
I have a smaller rollerboard and then the bigger one.
You have a mini me?
I do have a mini me.
Okay, I was like, you're gonna piss off.
I have a mini me. I have a mini me. So, but my manager told me I could use it, and then I was telling somebody about it, and she was standing there, and I go, "Yeah, my manager said I could use it." She goes, "I never said that." I go, "Yes, you did. Yes, you did." She goes, "Well, I didn't mean it."
I just want to at least do one shout out for one guy.
Okay, go.
I don't think any of us have met. There is a ramper named Luke. He's in Nashville. He's seen this stuff. And just wanted to give him a shout out because every week when he listens, he posts it on Instagram.
Oh, that's nice.
If he's on a flight, if he's in the bag room. So thanks for doing that. That really means a lot.
Luke.
So
yeah, that's awesome.
And I was talking to our friend Michael in Charlotte. And he was just saying it every Tuesday. It's his favorite day of the week, getting to hear our story. So,
and he's got 2 jobs too.
He does?
Michael? Yeah. He has 1 aviation job and 1 non-aviation.
I don't think we're talking about the same person. He works in the healthcare department.
Yeah. Doesn't he work on the ramp too?
No.
No, he doesn't work in aviation at all?
No.
Okay, I kind of thought.
He always talks about wanting to get a job with flight benefits so he can take his family and stuff. But yeah, so that's nice. And it's just nice to hear. People appreciate it. So thank you for listening and reaching out. We've got a bunch of emails. There was one guy named Bob.
He's the ramper with Envoy.
He's been with, he said it's his 3rd orange vest because he keeps getting a job as a part-time job and then he can't hold it because his real job and then he has to quit. But I think he just retired as a firefighter. So he got it again. But he likes to listen to our stuff even when he's not because just to be excited about non-revving. So thanks for listening. He asked a question about hotels and what do you do? Where do we find the best deals? And I told him There's a few things online with discounts with the airline. I check staff travelers, see if their prices, how they look. I just look everywhere. If I'm not following my Hyatt, because sometimes I don't, because they may not have options. Like in my trip, I booked 5 nights at a hotel. It's not Hyatt, just because there's no affordable Hyatts. So
I like it because he says, so hopefully my third orange vest will be my last one.
yeah. So now he's down there. I was going to say, you need to get a job at Marriott now. So you used to having 2 jobs. Go be a driver a couple of days a week, get the orange vest. And that's for us is training. That's what it means, orange vest. And fly and live the life. So but thanks for everyone that's reached out to us. I appreciate those emails. And Ryan where's he at? It's not our friend Ryan Fargo, but he's up north somewhere. He's got like a something ski last name. But after Taipei, he emailed us and told us what he did there for a day. So thank you for that.
You needed that. That was some good information.
I read through that. Lara responded, but I appreciate I read through that. So thank you. So I'm excited for my trip coming up. All right.
If you need to get a hold of us, you can find us at the non-rev lounge podcast at gmail.com. To everyone, stay safe. Bye.
This has been Non-Rev Lounge. This episode was sponsored by Staff Traveler, which is the #1 app to get your non-rev loads. It is used by over 800,000 people from all airlines the world over and built to make your non-rev trips easy and stress-free. Sign up now for free at stafftraveler.com/non-rev lounge.
Was that too abrupt?
Nope, we're good.
I like the way he says, I may have to practice so that Tyler's boys don't upstage me. I said that.